Hey everybody on the Pro Forum. One of the things y'all wanted me to talk about was giving back to the community. And I got mixed feelings on that, you know. In the professional photography world, I mean, back in the day, you could make a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. I don't see that as much anymore. Unless it's some sort of, you know, specialty type thing or whatever. I think people are making a living at what they do. And oftentimes, you know, you give back, at least, you know, this is Kirk philosophy here. You give back to the community because of the fact that it makes you feel good. So there's a heck of a good reason to do it. It pumps you back up. It helps improve the community. As a result, it betters it spreads to the betterment of mankind. And in the long run, there's a certain selfishness to it, in that what you end up with is you end up with a better community that can better support you in your lifestyle and in the world that you live in. All right, that's wonderful. Now, I get it. Why big companies like Microsoft, Apple, you know, Shell Oil and BP and all these different big companies, I get it. Why they throw thousands and thousands, millions even, dollars back into a community. Because, you know, it's total selfishness. It's like, oh, well, instead of being the big bad BP, what happens is you throw a bunch of money and, oh, BP, everybody feels all warm and fuzzy. And when it comes down the road to making a decision on where you're going to buy gas, well, maybe you'll go buy gas from a BP station. I get it. All of it. All of it. And again, this is just Kirk 101, boils down to selfishness. People do it to make themselves look better. So, as professional photographers, I tend to go down the same road. I do spend money and do things to help and better the community. For example, just recently, there was a whole Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Society gig, in which case I donated a bunch of stuff. I did some free aerial images, and I made some art prints for free and donated it. I donated a free session, a baby session, and a senior or family portrait type session. You know, I did all this other stuff, but all of it ultimately is if you strip it down and you get real, there's a bit of selfishness in the whole thing. In that, well, I'm hoping that the person who bought this thing comes in and then turns around and buys more than I'm giving them away. Or maybe it's an art print and they see it and they'll buy it, and then someone else will see it and then they'll want to buy one. You see? So, I mean, if we're really, really, really truthful, boils down to selfishness. But even with selfishness can come good intention. I think it helped out Mary Bird Perkins. It made me feel good that I was doing something charitable. And as a result, you know, if it produces something, great. If it doesn't, well, then I still did my good deed for the day. Does that make sense? So I don't want y'all to look at me and go, wow, you know, with the big freaky eyes and go, golly, Kirk's done lost his mind. But I hyper-analyze some of this stuff like this. My wife says that. She says, Kirk, you think too much. Well, I do. Maybe I do. But I think if you were truthful with yourself, you would understand that it's rare. It is a very rare instance where someone just does it for the love of their fellow man. And there are circumstances that I will do things like that. I mean, I've helped people. I mean, there was a guy in line one time trying to buy something. I paid for it, you know. I've been one of these crazy people who I'm sitting at a toll and I'll just randomly pay for the person behind me just because you can. And so, you know, little weird things like that, what they call that pay it forward type stuff. But I am a big believer in the Bible even says it. Don't let the left hand know what the right hand is doing. you know, I'm not going to make a big fanfare about those true charitable type things. Every year we give away a few portrait sessions to individuals who are in need, but I'm not even going to tell you who I do it to or why I do it or the random. It's just a random thing. I mean, I did 3 of them this year. That's it. That's all I'm going to tell you about it. Because again, I'm trying not to let the left hand know what the right hand's going to do. I don't want to make a big fanfare over the thing. Because if it's true charity, if it is true giving for the sake of giving, well then, you know, there's no reason. See, that back to the selfishness. Now, whenever I did that Mary Bird Perkins thing with the cancer thing, I made a big fanfare over it. Why? Because there was selfishness involved. And I think the same thing when you see big companies, oh, you know, BP's giving this to the community, and they make a commercial and spend money on the commercial to tell you how great they are. I mean, come on, man. They're not doing that just because they love me. They're doing that because they're trying to rebuild their image. Same thing with other big companies. So there you go. You can get me going all day about that. So I hope you don't hate me for being truthful, but there you go. Y'all asked about it. That's just my opinion. There you go. Done. Talk to y'all tomorrow. Bye.